Hello everyone, this is Pridarshini Tiwari. Today I am with you to discuss on the subject the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. The topic for today's discussion is appeals. Appeals under Code of Civil Procedure 1908. So before dealing in detail with the concepts of appeal, I would first like to mention here the subtopics which I am going to cover today. So in this lecture, I will be dealing with the introduction of appeals, the definition of appeal, the essential elements of appeal, right to appeal, and the relevant provisions related to appeals. Section 96 to 109 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 and Order 41 to 45 of the same code contains the detailed provisions related to appeals. Section 96 to 109 are substantive in nature and talks about the right to prefer an appeal and the powers of appellate court, and Order 41 to 45 regulate the procedure by which the proceedings for appeal can be regulated. Now the definition of appeal. The term appeal has nowhere defined under Code of Civil Procedure 1908, but it can be defined as a proceeding taken before a superior court or authority for revising or modifying the decision of an inferior court or authority on the ground of error. So in other words, it can be said that an appeal is a judicial examination of a decision given by an inferior court by an superior court. In the case of Nagendranath Dey versus Suresh Chandra Dey, it was held that any application by a party to an appellate court asking it to set aside or revise a decree of a subordinate court is an appeal within the ordinary acceptance of the term. Now the essentials for appeal. The following are the conditions which are essential to be fulfilled for preferring an appeal. There must be a decision, a determination or adjudication, usually a judgment of a court or ruling of an administrative body. So for preferring an appeal, the first condition which is essential, that is there must be a decision, and the second thing, there must be an aggrieved party. It means any person who is considering himself aggrieved by such decision. And the third and the last important condition is that there must be a reviewing body who is ready and willing to entertain the appeal. It means there must be a competent forum who is ready to entertain the appeal preferred by such aggrieved person. Now the right to appeal. Basically, the right to appeal is neither a natural nor an inherent right. Being a substantive statutory right, it has to be regulated in accordance with the law in force at the relevant time. It is a general principle of law that a right of appeal is that a right to appeal is not to be assumed in every matter which comes before the consideration of court. Appeal cannot be preferred as a matter of right. Appeal can only be preferred where the right of appeal is conferred by a statute or a rule having the force of statute or authority evident to a statute. So basically, in simple language, it can be said that an appeal is purely a statutory right, and it can only be preferred when it is provided by any law for the time being in force. Now the relevant provisions related to appeal. Section 96 of Code of Civil Procedure 1908 talks about appeal from original decree. It can also be said that that first appeal. 96 clause 1 of CPC provides that appeal shall lie from a decree passed by any court exercising original jurisdiction to the authorized appellate courts except where expressly prohibited. 96 clause 1 generally talks about first appeal, and the question before us, what will be the forum for first appeal? So the forum for first appeal will be the just superior court to the court of original jurisdiction. A combined reading of section 2 subclause 2, 2 subclause 9 and 96 of CPC indicates that a regular first appeal may or may not be maintainable against certain adjudications. Section 96 clause 2 talks about appeal against an ex parte decree. In the first appeal under 96 clause 2, the defendant on the merits of the suit can contend that the materials brought on record by the plaintiff were insufficient for passing a decree in his favor, or that the suit was not otherwise maintainable. Alternatively, an application may be presented to set aside such ex parte decree. It is a decree passed against a defendant in absentia. Both of these remedies are concurrent in nature. Moreover, in an appeal against an ex parte decree, the appellate court is competent to go into the question of the proprietary or otherwise of the ex parte decree passed by the trial court. So basically, 96 clause 2 talks about an appeal from original decree, and 96 clause 2 prescribes the rule for appeal against a decree passed ex parte. Now appeal against consent decree. 96 clause 3 talks about appeals against an consent decree, and it generally prescribes a bar on such appeal. When any decree has been passed with the mutual consent of the parties to the suit, the particular decree shall no longer be subject to appeal. Section 96 clause 3 is based on the broad principle of estoppel, declared that no decree passed by the consent of the parties shall be appealable. However, an appeal lies against a consent decree where the ground of attack is that the consent decree is unlawful, being in contravention of a statute, or that the council had no authority. So, it can be said that if any decree has been passed with the mutual consent of the parties, it will not be appealable, but appeal can be preferred against such decree only on the ground that the consent decree was unlawful, being in contravention of any statute, or the council was not competent at that time. Basically, the general rule is that if any decree is passed by the mutual consent of the parties to the suit, it will no longer be the subject of appeal. Now appeal in PT cases. Section 96 clause 4 also provides a prohibition which says that there shall not be any appeal in the case of PT matters. 96 clause 4 bars appeal except on points of law in cases where the value of subject matter of the original suit does not exceed rupees 10,000 as cognizable by the court of small causes. The underlying objective of this provision is to reduce the number of appeals in PT cases. So basically, there shall not be any appeal in PT cases except on the question of law. Thank you.